Hat-trick for Zig!
Small, humble family, but I think the desire for you to wanted to excel. He wanted to excel. I mean, me and my wife sat him down at 11 years of age and asked him, is this really what you wanted to do? To be away from your mother and your father, because schoolwork is important. He said, if I cannot train with the boys at the academy, I don't think I'll be able to make it.
I think it began at a young age, when I was still back at home. Always playing in the yard, looking at watching football all the time, admiring players. So with my dad especially, being a big impact in my career. He's been always there for me, he's been always training me as a young boy before coming to the academy. So I think it started there, always at the ground, always watching games, always playing football, no matter what time of the day. So I think I started there for me. I think they played a big impact in my career and throughout my career in football, even when I was back home and when I came to the academy. They've been always there for me through good days and bad days. My father's always encouraged me and he's always told me that I'm the best player, so I've always listened to him, took his advice, and I've put it in myself so it could help me grow through the negative things he told me and the good things he's told me. But then again, he's always been there, always encouraged me, and always given me the power, the strength to push myself the extra limit where I could say it's over. But then he's always been there to tell me I can still go more. So he's been always there to push me, and he helped me a lot to be the player that I am today. Because it started by him. He was my first coach as a football player, my dad. So
he sacrificed a lot of hard work, dedication. You know, he wanted to excel in life, and that acceleration came because he was prepared to put in the hours, the time. And what's important is for your son, very, very pivotal, is the support of his family.
I think football first started with me. I started at a local club in LutherSingh called Nazarene. I played there, and then my parents obviously moved out to LutherSingh to Florida, where I played in a club called In Touch. Played only trained twice a week, played on the weekends, and then on one Sunday I got scouted by the academy, and Coach Farouk and the technical team asked me if I would like to come for a trial for Stars. And my father was obviously at the stadium, and he was excited, he was happy for me to go to an academy because it was always my dream. So then I came to the academy, and that's where it started for me.
Fortunately for us as a family, we found another father who was prepared to take over where I left off. So it's not that he was away from home, but he actually got home to where he wanted to be. So, you know, Luther is a very humble boy, and I think for the rest of his life he'll stay humble, because those were the basic things which was taught to him when he was small.
Let me start at the beginning. The career of LutherSingh with Stars of Africa. He started as early as 2008 when Luther was 11 years old, and he came to the academy after being scouted. He spoke to his dad, and his dad said, okay, look, there's a lot of teams that are looking for Luther. In fact, there were quite a number of PSL teams that were keen on getting him into the youth programs. But his dad chose Stars of Africa simply because he believed that our track record with the likes of May Mashlangu and Sibusiso Kumalo was a yardstick of us looking at players and nurturing talent in a very holistic way. Luther spent a number of years with Stars of Africa and initially played for I think it was the under 12 national team. He then went on to play for Stars of Africa only officially when he was about 15 years old.
I was 11 years old when I first came to the academy, and coming to the academy at that age, I was excited obviously because it's a different environment and you play with a lot of players from throughout the country, so you get to know more people and where they come from, the backgrounds of them. And also for me, because I've heard about the academy before and the players they produced before, and also the style of play that they were playing because I used to watch their games. So when I got the opportunity, when they told me that they would like me to come for a trial, I was over the moon and I was just excited to get started with them. But before I even made a trial, so when I came there, I knew that this is what I always wanted, and I've always wanted to play for the academy, but then I couldn't ask for a better coach and a technical team like Coach Farouk and the technical team he has, and a better family like Stars. In football there's no age, so when I came here I always wanted to do extra and I always wanted to do as the bigger boys, but unfortunately I couldn't do as they did, especially in the gym because I was still young. I couldn't lift up the weight they lifted up, but on the field wise it wasn't to say that I was treated differently. I was thrown in the water and I had to survive, so the only way I could survive was telling myself that age doesn't matter. I'm here for a job and I'm here to be the same thing that everyone else wants to be here. So age for me wasn't a thing that I could say it would set me back, because I knew that by hard work and determination and to stay humble I would get to where I want to be.
We have always shown our loyalty towards Stars of Africa, and that's how it will be up until Luther one day has his own grandchildren, and it will just be a continuation. But what is very important for me is the growth as a player, the acceleration as a person. The breathtaking things of life he's never been worried about. For him it was always just to play. And if you can recall, there was like 3 years Luther could not even kick a ball on a soccer field when he was in the academy because of the age group. But he was never deterred, never lost focus. He kept on pursuing his goal. And now he's just paying or being rewarded for all his hard work.
There's a lot of players when I was here. We had like the likes of Tukelo Ranti, the likes of Mimalangu, Ayanda Nkile. We had a bunch of good players, and the players that I've just mentioned now are players that are playing in professional ranks in Europe. Some are playing in South Africa, like Sibusiso Kumalo's here, Pula Marisani, Tabang Pete, Tepo Matsimela when I came. So there was a bunch of good players always here at the academy, and he's a player that inspired me for me to go the extra limit for me to get to where I wanted to be.
What a joy, what a pleasure to have him as part of this Stars of Africa Academy. And I will preach this until I cannot preach it again. This is the place to go for any soccer player in South Africa that wants to make it. Forget Kaizer Chiefs, forget Sundowns. Come to Stars of Africa and you will reach Europe if you have the desire to do so. So the long and the short of it, Coach Farouk knows what he's doing. The heart that he has for boys, to grow them in that 5 to 7 year period of time to develop a player. I've seen that happen with Luther. And I take a bow to this academy because my heart is overwhelmed with joy.
Honestly, when I first started, it was difficult for me getting up at 4 in the morning. You have to prepare yourself for 5 o'clock to be at training. It was difficult coming into the sessions because I was still young. I used to sleeping a little bit later before I get up for school. But then again, now it's something that I do before school. When I got to the training field or into the gym at 5 in the morning, it was difficult because I wasn't used to an environment like this. But once I've worked with Coach Raf in the gym and on the field at 5 in the morning, I got used to it and I got much stronger, and it helped me a lot as a player. I think it's something that Coach Raf always nagged me on, for me to take time to improve at free kicks and to be a specialist in free kicks. So I've been taking that with me everywhere I go. I would find time and make time for me to practice on my free kicks.
Luther then went on to mature on an ongoing basis. In fact, a lot of what happened with Luther was the fact that he did a lot on his own as far as the physical side of his game was concerned. He had a friend, Pule Moritsani, and they would work on their own when we weren't training at the academy to enhance their physical strength, to enhance their physical ability. And there was nothing more that you could do with Luther because he was just such a phenomenal talent.
I think my ultimate achievement would be to get African Player of the Year, obviously to start off, and then obviously working up my way as I grow as a player, and who knows, always getting like Ballon d'Or and the Golden Boot. So there's things that I look up to as my goals, and I would work towards the goals. I mean, it's been a good experience. I was only 14 years old, going to Brazil, training at the best academies like Fluminense, been around, seeing the lights of Vasco da Gama train, Botafogo train, games of Botafogo. I mean, it's been a good experience getting to know what is football more about in Europe and how players take their football seriously and the professionalism they show on the training, off the training, on match days. So it's been good for me going there at a young age, getting the experience.
Eventually, when Pule Moritsani had to go for treatment to Brazil, I said to my partner Nadim, let's take Luther along for the experience. And it wasn't a mistake. In fact, it was a great exercise in giving Luther the confidence and the self-belief, because he spent a couple of months in Brazil at Fluminense and playing in their reserve teams. In fact, to an extent where they wanted us to let Luther and Pule stay and play in tournaments that they were going to go to in Europe. But at that time, Luther was still at school, and we felt no, it wasn't the right time to do so. On his return, he came back and he spent, I think it was another year. And at the age of 17, I felt it was time for him to move. In fact, I was raving about Luther to Nadim on a number of occasions, and I said to Nadim one day, now is the time. We don't need to wait. And he went to a team in Sweden. At Guys, he scored a number of goals. He kept people talking. In fact, he had a little bit of a supporters base that he created that was singing his song from the terraces, or his name from the terraces. And yeah, we just realized then that maybe Guys, he had outlived Guys, he needed to get to the next level. And this is when Nadim managed to take him to a club in Portugal, Braga, where he is presently at. And he signed for Braga, but not long after signing for Braga, he had to come back for the CAF championships, firstly for the Confed Cup, which he took part in, and thereafter he took part in the CAF championships. In both occasions, he won the highest goal scorer in both tournaments and he was an outstanding player in the CAF championships as well. He now has been nominated as one of the 5 best players in Africa for 2017. And look, irrespective of him winning it or not, it's just clearly an indication of Luther's potential. The recognition that has been given in the short term or short period that he's been involved in playing football is phenomenal. And I can only see Luther going to greater heights with the help of the Almighty, God willing. He would definitely be a player who plays in the La Liga or even in the Premiership. And we wait for that day to happen very patiently. I mean, he's still very young. I do believe in his ability. I still have close contact with him. I'm still more than just a coach to him. I'm his mentor and many, many other things. So for me, I look forward to the day when we will celebrate the potential of this player by the name of LutherSingh.
I think the moment that I've always remembered was when I went back to my hometown at the age of 15 years old. I played in the Castle League, my first start for the academy, where I played in my hometown against my old team, and I just killed it on the day, brought tears to my dad's eyes. So that was a moment that I will always remember and I'll always carry with me.
But what is keeping us astounded by his performances is the fact that he doesn't stop. He wants even more. He wants to get to where he wants to be. And that is to play in Spain, Barcelona. I don't agree with that because I'm a Madrid fan, but be as it may. You know, what's important is him going out there to live his dream. He's getting paid for what he loves to do, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so proud. I cannot even find adequate words to describe the feeling. But the fact that my son has made it is all because, one, the grace of God, two, the assistance of the academy and the guidance they've given him, and the support has been impeccable. So, yeah.
I remember it very clearly. It was a match the Stars of Africa played against a team from LutherSingh, and that was the hometown of Luther, where he came from. In fact, his whole family was at the stadium, and he was a little bit shy. In fact, I think a little bit scared to play on the day against physically more stronger players, more matured players. But he built up the courage, and I said to him, "Look, boy, if you're not going to take the dive or the plunge now, we'll never know." And what eventually turned out to be a very memorable game. I can clearly remember that besides Stars of Africa winning that match, Luther had a phenomenal game to an extent where his dad came to me after the game, and I remember this very clearly, where he had tears in his eyes. In fact, he was basically sobbing, saying, "You know, Coach, I never expected to see what I saw today. This boy has now, in the last couple of years, matured into a potentially top player. You know, his whole demeanor, his ability on the ball. In fact, he mesmerized their left back to an extent where the crowd went ballistic."
There's a lot of hard work and a lot of time and effort spent, and even finances for Coach Farouk, which I know personally. His capacity as a family man, as a father, as a grandparent. I mean, the academy doesn't have a sponsor, but yet Stars of Africa is producing players. We had Meima Klambu, we had Tokelo Ranki, Masha Maite at a certain time was also here. We had the Java Pulis of this world. We have the Morgan Goals that keeps coming back here for additional training. Now we have LutherSingh. Hopefully, this is definitely a sign to Coach Farouk, to Wasila, Coach Raf, Coach Boza, that you guys are on the right track. Teaching, admonishing basic principles and skills of life to our kids. And what I appreciate most is the patience that you guys have. You know, 7-9 years Luthers with the academy. It has taken you 7 years, as Coach Farouk said at the beginning, for Luther to be able to excel. And now, that is so true. We see that. All that I can say is I'm humbled. Words, it's not easy to find.
I think the message I would send out to the youth and stars, firstly I would say they're in good hands, and they're in one of the best academies in South Africa. For them, I would just say they must keep on working hard, take the advice that the coaches give them, and learn a lot from the players they have around them and the coaches they have around them, because the coaches are experienced, the players they have, there's a lot of quality players in the academy. So I think they just have to work hard and always listen to their coaches and the sky's the limit for them now. I mean, the relationship me and Coach Farouk have is like a father and a son relationship. Coach Farouk has been a great impact in my career, and I thank God for sending me to him at a young age and not to someone else. And with him, he's like always been a mentor to me. He's always been there with me in every step I took in my football career. He's always been there. He's always been my mentor. He's always advises me about things before I even go to places, and the way he prepared me as a footballer. I came here as no one, and the way he made me the player that I am today, it's all because of him and God, and also myself being humble and willing to learn from him as a coach that's been experienced, that has been producing the players that he produced at the School of Excellence. He went to Sundowns, he did his thing. He went to Chiefs, he did his thing. Santos did his thing. So it was always good having an experienced coach like him and a mentor to me like him.
Luther, you know you are more than just a footballer to me. You are a son to me. You are somebody that has got into my heart, has crept into my heart. I know you are somebody that will reach your fullest potential in the future. I have no doubt about that. I just need you to exercise patience, perseverance, and stay true to yourself. Never forget your roots. Always remember where you came from, and always look forward to where you're going. The future looks bright, but it depends entirely on how you deal with the present so as to achieve greatness in the future. Good luck, Luther. God bless.
Together we made it.
See, we did it.
We made it even though we had our backs up against the wall.
Come on.
Forever